Hi, welcome to What's Cooking with Rochelle. Today we're going to be making squash fritters for you, and I have a great co-host today. This is my lovely daughter, Kate. And how many times do we have these at home, Kate?
Like once a month?
Yeah, like once a month. And you know, they had them when they were kids, and yes, they did eat them, because once you grate the zucchini, you don't really know that you're hiding that in there. So what's the first step?
Grate the zucchini.
And how are we going to do that?
We're going to use a food processor, but you can also use a box grater. Just either way works. One's a little less labor intensive.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you get started on that while Kate is grating that inside of our food processor. And we're using the coarse shredder attachment. So if you have one of those, great. That's the size that we're using. If you want to use really fine, it'll just make it super fine. And I am going to go ahead and get 1.5 cups to 2 cups of white onion with 2 tablespoons of butter in a skillet and get these sauteing. So if your squash or zucchini is too fat, just cut it in half lengthwise. We're going to want to try and get this shredded super fast for you. Okay, so that's shredded. Kate, I'm going to let you go ahead and pour that in here. I'll get rid of that for you. Now, if you wanted to let the zucchini sweat a little bit, you could sprinkle it with a little bit of salt in a colander, and then some of the liquid will get off that way. But usually you don't have to. Thank you. I'll get rid of that. Okay, so what's the next step?
We're going to crack 2 eggs.
Okay, and to these 2 eggs, guys, we're going to add some seasonings. Whatever kind you choose, if you want to make it spicy or sweet, that's up to you. Today we're going to be adding some paprika, thank you. And that's about 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of salt and pepper, and 1 teaspoon of cumin is what we picked for today. If you like Old Bay seasoning, a quick easy tip, you could add some Old Bay to season it. You're going to want to mix this really good, get all those spices worked around with the eggs, and then we'll go on to the next. Let me go check our onions and see how they're coming along. Alright, so the onions need just a couple more minutes. We want to get those nice and caramelized and browned. And that's looking awesome. Okay, so to this we are first going to add some breadcrumbs. You can buy breadcrumbs already seasoned in the store. If you did, omit some of the stuff we just added. Read the side and see what it has. These are just basic white breadcrumbs. That's 2 cups. And depending on how watery your yellow squash or zucchini were. You might need a little more or a little less. Basically, you're just using that to bind it together. And then the last ingredient we're going to use, we picked Parmesan cheese today for ours. You can use whatever. You like feta, use that. If you like goat, use that. If you don't want any cheese, that's fine. You know, you can also do this where it's gluten-free. You could use an egg replacement, and you could use an alternative flour instead of breadcrumbs. Once we get this all mixed in, we're going to add the onions, and then we're going to put them in the skillet to fry them, just like you would like little baby pancakes or corn cakes or anything like that. Kate is an amazing cook in and of herself, so hopefully one of these days I can get her to come and make something else for you guys, but I'm just excited that we got her to play with us today. That looks great. Thank you for doing all the hard work today, Kate. I'm going to give you one more thing to mix in, and then I'm going to get some oil in this skillet and get it hot. Now, it doesn't take a lot of oil. I am today using vegetable oil. You can use coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, whatever kind you prefer. All right, looks amazing, all mixed together. So I'm going to take this over here to the skillet. Our oil is hot, and we're going to scoop them out and fry them up. Okay, so we're just going to take a scoop and put it in the skillet. All right, we're going to let those cook for just a minute on that side, and then we're going to flip them over, cook the other side, and they will be done. All right, so those will only take, what, a couple minutes, right?
Like 3 minutes.
3 more minutes on the other side. We're going to put them on a paper towel just to drain them, or you could drain them on a
Wire rack.
Thank you very much. We'll see you back here in a couple minutes. Now you can make them as big or as little as you want. But the amount that we made will definitely make enough for a whole family. So we're going to fry the rest up, and then we'll show you how we normally serve these. It's a great topping on these to top it off and make it amazing. Okay, so our zucchini fritters, the mixed squash fritters, are all fried up. So we're going to make the topping that I always serve these with, which they all love. So we are first going to make the dressing part of it. So you are taking 2 tablespoons of olive oil to 1 tablespoon, generous tablespoon of red wine vinegar. To that you're adding a half a teaspoon of cumin. And we are going to squeeze some lemon, at least half to a whole lemon, depending on how juicy your lemon is. And you're going to add some salt and pepper in there too, Kate. We'll check that one out and see how that comes out. and just taste it. It should taste kind of like a salad dressing base. Needs more lemon. That's just my opinion. More acid. Now what made me think it needed more acid is I tasted too much oil. So you want it to be balanced. Okay. Okay, so we have 1 can of black beans here. And we are going to go ahead and dump the dressing in that. Thank you, ma'am. And then we are adding some chopped yellow or orange pepper. If you wanted green or red, you could do that. We've got some cherry tomatoes we diced in half, and then some red onion. We're adding a little kick to ours, so a little bit of chopped jalapeno. If you don't want kick, don't add it. And then we usually add cilantro. You know, this is the thing about cooking. Use what you have in your house and in your fridge. So today we didn't have it, so we're using a little parsley instead. But use whichever you prefer. Give it a good toss. And I'm going to go grab the corn. And that is a cup of corn that's already cooked. We chilled it because we made it today. So if you had leftover or you used can, you wouldn't have to worry about that. And that is it. Now we are going to go ahead and plate up the zucchini fritters, put a nice helping of this on it, and top it with some sour cream and get to dig in. All right, Kate, this is the fun part. Let's eat. So make sure you get a big scoop of all of the yumminess with your zucchini fritter. That's very good, huh? It's not very time consuming, very healthy for you, especially if you baked them instead of fried them. I'm gonna have some more. Thanks again for watching another great episode of What's Cooking with Rochelle. Bye for now.